What is up, you guys? Hope you guys had a good start to your week. I know we definitely did. Um, but yeah, I'm going to give it a second for people to join up here. But we've got our charting session going on tonight, going through my watch list A to Z, finding the setups that we like for tomorrow, maybe going over some ones that we don't like as well. And yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. If you guys have any stocks you want me to check out throughout this stream, make sure that you drop the stock in the comments. Drop your level as well. If it's a random stock that I don't have on my watch list and I'm just looking at a random chart with no levels, then that's not going to do you much good. So yeah, definitely make sure you throw any stocks you want me to check out in the watch list, and we will go ahead and get right into it here. So starting off, I do want to go over the news that we've got for tomorrow, if we have any. Looking like we're actually pretty empty for tomorrow, so that's cool. News-wise, yeah, news-wise, we're pretty much good. Earnings, we have Target before open, we have Best Buy before open. Let me see, are these even worth looking at? I don't know what they're at price-wise. So Target, the contract volume was actually there today on the 120 puts, so these do have some volume. Let's see if we've got anything special to look at. We actually made a new 180-day low today. New yearly low. Is this an all-time low? No, it is not. Okay, so overall, Target doesn't look like it would be bad to throw on the watch list to check out in the morning. So I am going to actually throw this on my watch list here. Ticker symbol for this is TGT. I'm going to throw that on the watch list so we can check it out after earnings, but that's obviously going to be in the morning. What's up, Dave? So yeah, I'll throw that on there. Let's check out Best Buy real quick. Ticker symbol is BBY. This looks like absolute chop and nothing that I want to put my money in. So I am going to go ahead and completely skip on that, regardless of the fact that we do have earnings. So Target, I added, let's see, we have AutoZone as well. Wow, this thing is really up here. Oh, contracts for this don't even expire until the 21st, so I'm good on that. Let's see, EVGO, all good there. And I think the only one I would, yeah, all good. All good on the rest of those. So earnings before market open that I would pay attention to would mainly just be Target there. So obviously, if I do have any setups on that, I'll let you guys know in the morning. Those will be posted obviously in the Discord first, and it will be posted on Threads as well. But for those of you that are in the floor, I want to go over, well, I guess for those of you that are in the floor and those of you that aren't in the floor, I want to go over the trade that we took this morning. We started this week out very, very nice with the PLTR play to the upside. So we actually ended up taking this on this candle right here as we were approaching this pre-market high. Target was the break of 90. So we ended up pushing up here. I sold half of my position on this candle right here. Obviously, like I said, the entry was right before this pre-market high. I sold half of my position here on this candle when we made a new high, and then the other half I sold above the 90 break. But this was a super clean play. No drawdown the entire time from entry, and we ended up getting peak sell on it as well. So that was a little over 20%. Beautiful trade, beautiful way to start the week. And obviously, those of you that were with us on Friday when we extended the free day, we had a very nice Tesla play as well. 2 days where we're done pretty much right off open. We were done 5 minutes into market open today. We were done, I think, 2 minutes into market open on Friday, or maybe even less. Yeah, 2 minutes into market open on Friday, we were done. So 2 easy days here. This stays up when you're done, right? Can't really watch right now, but yes, absolutely, Justin. Absolutely. So yeah, that's what we are working with play-wise from today. And yeah, for the rest of this, we'll go ahead and go through the actual watch list A to Z, go over the setups that I'm liking for tomorrow, and we will assemble a watch list at the end of the video. So yeah, for those of you that aren't in the Discord, by the way, check the first link in the description to trade live with us on a daily basis. And that's where we do the majority of our lessons as well. Kev, we caught PLTR today to the upside. Just went over that a second ago. So if you back it up like a minute, you'll see where we were at. Mouse dead. There we go. All right, sweet. So Apple starting off, not looking like we've got much there. It's looking like ES and NQ ended up closing down today by a pretty decent amount. So it's looking like we're getting put back to the middle of nowhere on a lot of these. So AMD sold off pretty heavy towards the end of day, but we bounced since then. And I honestly am not a huge fan of this down at the low. For those of you that trade AMD super frequently, then maybe you guys like that, but I'm personally not a huge fan. So let's see. This might be a fairly short charting session, given the looks of everything right now. ARM, let's see. ARM has a gap here from 119.50 down to 117.41. Looks like we bounced today right above 120. So I actually do like this. I am going to mark this so we can come back to it later while we're assembling that watch list. Only difficult thing with ARM is contract volume is not great. So ARM is going to be one of those that if it is on the watch list, it's probably going to have to be on the side watch just because contract volume is difficult to say the least. Spreads are pretty wide, volume's pretty low. So if it doesn't pick up volume quickly, then there's not much we're going to be able to do with that setup, regardless of how good it looks. AVGO coming down here, making new lows and coming to fill this gap on the 1 year. This gap on the 1 year, we've got room to 180.66 on that. So we've got, from where we're at right now, about $7 more of room, about $4.50 more from the low. So I'll go ahead and mark this just in case. I know that I somewhat recently talked about AVGO and me not being a huge fan of it just because it is selling off so aggressively and we're just basically looking at new lows every day. But since we are so close to filling this gap here, I would take a look at it. So I'm going to mark that as well. We can come back later. BA coming back down here to a pretty aggressive support area, and that honestly makes me not a fan of this to the downside, just because every time we've gotten in this zone, we've had a crazy bounce out of it. We wicked below one time, immediately got bought back up, and you guys can see, I mean, it's just been super aggressive buying every time we've gotten into this zone. So not something I'm a super big fan of, nor do I want to mess with it. Baidu, I'm all good. Coin gapped up after hours yesterday, set a very nice high here at 244.26, and I actually liked this morning, and we just shot straight back down, filling this gap back to the downside. This actually doesn't look bad. I do want to see real quick. There is 40 cents. Just see. So, all right. Yeah, I would look at this at the 198 low. Would look at it at the 198 low for sure. I like this to the downside. I honestly don't even mind it right where it's at. I just want to make sure it's ready by the time we get there. And I don't think we're going to have enough preparation time between here and today's low. So let's just plan on 198. Yeah, Curtis, is there anything specific you want me to look at there? Costco, yeah, Costco has earnings this week on Thursday. This stock is pretty much dead at this point. I mean, it used to be pretty dead anyways, but it would at least catch some volume whenever we had good setups. Like if the setup was good enough, contract volume would be there. Even with really nice setups on Costco recently, they haven't even attempted to pick up contract volume. So I think I'm going to give this one more round of earnings here and see if they can start picking back up some kind of contract volume. But other than that, that stock's pretty much shot. Gotcha, Curtis. Will do. Crowd, not much to see here. We've got an uptrend on the 1 hour, and other than that, I'm just not a huge fan. Even have any? Yeah, this has no contract volume. The last few times I've looked at crowd as well, contract volume was just gone. DAL. DAL is lacking on contract volume as well, so I'm all good. ADOG, same story. Disney put itself back in an untradeable uptrend channel. Oh, yeah, it's looking like this might be a fairly short charting session here, guys. Google, I'm not a fan of. Man, it's annoying because some of these stocks do have all right setups, but just no volume. Meta, that's just far, very far. 650 though, I wouldn't mind playing this to the downside just to catch 650 again. But I will say the last time that we came through this level, where were we at? Straight selling the whole time. So that's cool, but I might throw this in here just in case. I'd most likely just be looking at low of day, targeting a breakthrough 650. Low of day today was 650.84. So yeah, not a huge target on this, but obviously if momentum is there below 650, then we're looking at a bigger trade than we are right now. So yeah, I will go ahead and put that on the watch list just because I like how aggressive we've been each time we've been to 650 here. The only issue that I'm having with this in my head is like we're bouncing extremely aggressively every time, but each time we're getting here, we're at the very least getting a super aggressive sell-off. So I don't hate it, but I also would need to see some super clear weakness compared to the market here, because otherwise one of these times we're going to have to not respect that 650 level, and I don't want that to be the time that I'm taking it. So yeah, we're going to have to see some super clear weakness ahead of time, but I don't mind it. Marvel, I think I'm all good on. I think we actually, for some reason I want to say we have earnings. Yeah, we have earnings on Marvel on Wednesday after close, so Microsoft is coming for lows once again. Sorry, 385.50. So 385.58 is a yearly low. And we do have a 4-hour low below that, but I would not mind this at 385.58 at all. I do want to also mark this 383.01, which is a pre-market level from way back in August. So yeah, I don't mind that. I'll probably put Microsoft on the list as well, because that is a big level on the yearly chart. So I would imagine that we would see some type of reaction here. Once again, I would like to see some clear weakness in the market before we take that trade, just because that technically is not the lowest we were at, right? So kind of a in-between level. It's definitely a big level on the yearly, but it's already been broken in the pre-market hours. I'm all good. Nvidia, we're coming down for a pretty big support here at 111.51. Definitely going to take a look at that. I would actually probably take a look at today's low at 112.28. So that's cool. I like that. Oracle actually looks solid as well. Do we have contract volume? Like we do. Looks like we do. All right, so 160.81. I like. We are basically forming a kind of messy head and shoulders pattern into that. What's up, Marwan? Yeah, I like Oracle actually. It's been a minute since I've had something clean on this, but I do like that. Once again, I'd probably just look to take this through the 160 break. We've got a 1-minute trend that lines up at 159.47, so we've got some room there. So you guys know, just because I'm marking these does not mean that I am definitely writing out an idea for each one of these, but marking them basically just means I need to come back and double check and see what looks good. Why did it do this? Okay, there we go. I like Microsoft 385.50 for tomorrow and coin 200 for gap fill on daily. Yeah, Marwan, we just went over Microsoft. 385.58 is a yearly low. I'm definitely a fan of that. I like it too. So that's cool. And then coin, I have the gap fill on daily. Yeah, I was actually looking at 198, which is below where the gap fills on the 4-hour, but I do like coin as well. Like, yeah, that gap fill doesn't look bad on the daily either. So all right, back to where we were at. PLTR, I actually am a fan of this at 77.80 to the downside. We are kind of far away. It's not impossible for us to get this move, but we would have to open a lot closer than where we're at currently. So that might have to be a side watch, even though the setup does look super clean. It's not a side watch because the setup is bad. It's just a side watch because it's far away. So PayPal, I'm good. Roblox, I'm good. Reddit, Also good, mainly due to volume there. SMCI ended up blowing through that level I was looking at earlier. No, I'm all right. Curtis wanted me to take a look at SPY here. So SPY, let's see what he said. Just your thoughts. I've been shorting, but I think I should have, wait, I think should have an oversold bounce into more downside. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a bounce, obviously, in this area here, anywhere between like 583 all the way down to like 577.80. I actually have it marked out on ES and NQ on my other screen here, but this is an area that I do have marked out to basically signify if we do see hesitation around this area to the downside, I would not be surprised. And I also definitely would not be surprised to see some type of a bounce before we continue any downside move here. But also, we did get a pretty big bounce on Friday overall, and we ended up retracing that whole entire move today plus some. So if we come down here, yeah, I mean that's just up to what price action wants to do, obviously, but I definitely think overall we do have more downside room for sure, but I would definitely be cautious of bounces in between then as well. But like once we get down to this like 570, what is this? 577, or I'm sorry, 575 area. Once we get down there, if we can get below that, I feel like we have a lot easier room to the downside than we currently do in the meantime. So that's my thoughts. Target, we already talked about. We really don't have any setups right now, but they have earnings releasing before market open tomorrow. Oh, T-Mobile. T-Mobile, look at you. I was just talking about this yesterday. I am a huge fan of this high on T-Mobile. I like how we're holding up. We actually held up really well today while everything else ended up selling back off. Volume throughout the day is not great. However, when we played this around earnings, volume was definitely there, and I'm assuming that once we get back up closer to highs, we're going to most likely be able to pick up contract volume pretty easily. So I do like this. I don't know that I love just today's high, but as we're approaching this, actually today's high doesn't look half bad. But mainly as we're approaching this 279.49 level, I am going to be keeping an eye on this so that we can take advantage of the new all-time high through the 280 break. Tesla, we're coming back down. Coming back down to these lows here, I'd just be looking at 273.60. Tesla's been making new low after new low after new low, and every single time it's been super weak. So if we get back down there, I'm a fan. I probably would not look to take it at today's low though, just because it would most likely have to be a write-off open play, and I don't want to be participating in it when Tesla decides that it finally wants to bounce. So I'll probably wait for the low from Friday at 273.60. And then we can look for some more room down there. But I guess that would have to be more dependent on the setup that we get pre-market, because honestly, if we set up well enough pre-market, I wouldn't be super opposed to this low of today, but I also, like I said, just don't want to be part of the bounce. Dave, I don't exactly remember what was the price of the contracts that we were trading today, like the first number. I don't have IB pulled up right now. It was something 50 on my first half and then something 65 on my second half. I want to say it was 350 and 365 were my sells. UPST, good. I'm assuming the rest of these I'm not going to have anything because I usually never do. Actually, XYZ ended up breaking a pretty big support here today, but that really doesn't do much for me because that leaves me with no setup to look at. So it's looking like this is what we've got for the watch tomorrow. I'm going to actually make a last minute adjustment here. Tesla, I am probably going to look at low of day from today. Once again, it's going to have to depend on how we set up pre-market, but I wouldn't be surprised if I took that at today's low. So Apple, we already talked about not having anything on. ARM, like AVGO. I'm trying to go through here and see if there's any of these that are not completely necessary to have. I would say Meta is probably gonna have to go in the side watch. Microsoft is a big level, and Nvidia is a big level. Okay, yeah, cool. Let's go ahead and get started on the watch list here then. Last week's. And let's see, we can probably just go in order of importance here because we do have a decent amount of setups or potential setups. So just do it that way. Tesla looking at the 277.30 low, scalp. I should probably 273.60 support from Friday. Let's see if we have any. Actually, 273.60. Interesting. So we really don't have anything between here and there. So we've got a lot of room on this. I just don't want to overshoot for the target is the only thing. I know some people get caught up in holding till target and basically disregarding everything else, which is not necessarily the way to go about that, but 267.40 there, I'm sorry. On the 30-minute. Sweet. Tesla we've got. And then what is up next? The question. Probably going to put Oracle up next. I like Oracle's setup a lot. The only issue with Oracle is just that contract volume. So hoping for the best here and being optimistic with this, I'm just gonna put this up next. The 160.81 flat bottom. Down to the 160 break. After that, I would just be watching any momentum we can get below 160 for my final target. Sweet. Tesla downside, Oracle downside. Microsoft is going to have to be one of these that's up here next just because of how big of a level it is. Microsoft looking at the 1 year low at 385.58. On this to the 385 break, then the this is at 383.01. Cool. There's that. Tesla, Oracle, Microsoft, we've got. Now we need to get coin. Man, coin is a tricky one, not because of the setup itself, just because of the fact that I really wouldn't mind taking it this at 200. I just feel like for the trade idea itself, probably gonna have to wait. So yeah, I think the best way for me to probably write this out would just be looking at the 198 level. And this is another one of those, we've got so much room down and I don't want to not put a target, but I also am not trying to like super overshoot. I would say off of this we could probably easily get like a $2 break, but there's really no levels in between here and the gap fill. The gap fill is just not for another what, $6. So yeah, we'll look at this. Okay. The 1 year gap fill at 193.36 is what I think it's at. 193.96. My bad. 193.96. we really have more room on that as well. We've got more room on all these as far as the trends go, but you guys know I try and stay fairly conservative and realistic with my targets, so we're not getting ourselves into a situation where we're feeling like we should hold for longer past stop losses and stuff like that. I think having larger targets sometimes and like unrealistic targets gets people into the mindset of not taking profits and also not obeying their stop losses the way that they really need to. So try and keep everything as realistic as possible. And I know personally, like I'm probably not going to hold all the way down to 108.97 on Nvidia if I've already caught basically $1.50 move on this, which is more than enough for Nvidia. There, I'll put it that way, because I could see myself holding for 110, but definitely not all the way down to these trends. Tesla, Oracle, Microsoft, Coin, Nvidia. So I like when we've got an abundance of setups. I just also really don't like when we have so many that we're gonna have to be like, we're gonna have to have 40 sets of eyes to watch all these. So I'm gonna put the rest of these in the side watch. AVGO and okay, that'll be fine. So looking at the 119.50 gap on the 4-hour, targeting a move down to 19. After that, we have room all the way down to the 117.41 gap fill. Perfect. AVGO, kind of looking at the same sort of thing here. 184.53 is today's low. We've got room all the way down to 180.66. Oh wow, I already forgot what today's low was. My bad, guys. 184.53. Continuing the gap fill on the targeting a move to the gap. 180. $66. Sweet. Meta, we're going to be looking at just 60.84 down, or sorry, 650.84 down through 650. Perfect. And to wrap it up, ELTR. And we have room on this all the way down to 75.25 on the 1 hour. So we've got plenty of room, but yeah, that'll be fine. Perfect. Are all these downside? They are. Every single one of these is downside. Wow. I hope we have a red day, not a red day, but a selling day in the market tomorrow. Knock on wood. My bad. All right, sweet. So this is my watch list for tomorrow. Keep in mind, I guess I should throw in here. Actually, we've got plenty in here, but I'm just gonna say target earnings pre-market, so we can take a look at that. And yeah, we also have T-Mobile all-time high. Awesome. So that is what I've got for tomorrow, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your night. We do have some time left here, so if you guys want to take a screenshot of this, save it, and get these levels plotted on your own, definitely make sure you do that. If you're in the floor, I'm going to be putting it in the lessons tab. And otherwise, if you're not in the floor and you want to trade live with us on a daily basis, click that first link in the description and we will see you all there. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. I will talk to you first thing in the morning for pre-market review, and I will see you all.